What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel, man. Once again, we're going to do another mid-2019 review of a device that actually was almost like a backup of a main device that I was supposed to be doing a video of, and that device is the iPhone 7 Plus. If you don't know, I bricked my iPhone 7 recently. I ended up fixing it and made a whole tutorial and all that stuff, but I was supposed to do the iPhone 7 video today, but the 7 Plus was the only one on iOS 13, but you guys don't even care. Now, I did a double ISY, which means is it still worth it, and of the iPhone 7 Plus earlier on this year, but since then we've seen a couple changes, so I figured I would refresh these little videos. They're not going to be as extensively detailed as the one I did early on this year because the body hasn't changed, the hardware mostly hasn't changed that much. So if you want a more in-depth review, I would recommend watching that one. But if you just kind of want to see more of the software related changes, then go ahead and stay on this video. That's what this is for. But I kind of want to hit on some of the basic hardware stuff as well right now. So this thing came out in 2016 and it was quite a bit of a change in my opinion from the predecessor, which was the 6S Plus. The main changes we saw were IP certification, we saw more of an enclosed design, we saw the home button become an actual vibration motor part of the screen, not necessarily a separate button, and we actually saw a dual camera setup, and those things still hold up quite a bit. You know, we have a 5.5 inch 1080p IPS panel. The screen is still pretty good in my opinion. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. The top earpiece is also kind of a front facing speaker in a way, so that's really cool. That's the first time we saw that on an iPhone, and right above that is actually the front camera, and I think it's a pretty solid camera still. On the back we do have a dual camera setup like I said earlier, and this thing was the first thing to bring portrait mode as well. And what I can tell you about this whole entire thing, it's a very good camera. I mean, I've said this about every single iPhone. I think almost every single iPhone that supports iOS 13 would be classified under me as a very good camera. Even the 6S, those phones have awesome cameras, and what I can tell you about them is as long as you're not comparing them to like a 10S or 10S Max or whatever, I don't even think you're going to care about it too much. So that kind of covers up all the main things, you know, the details that everyone usually already knows. The main thing I wanted to hit on was actually the software. And if you've seen my 6S Plus in mid-2019, all those other ones, you'll probably understand what I'm about to say here. But iOS 13 so far, I want to do like a little disclaimer. It's still in a beta. You're going to have tons of issues with it. But the fact that it got supported with it and we know what features are in it are really cool and kind of going to showcase the future of iOS and what could potentially be brought on a phone like the 7 Plus. Because looking long term, this thing is probably not going to end its life cycle on iOS 13, so keep that in mind. The main thing I also want to hit on is that the iOS 13 update is not resource heavy. It didn't really take up too much space. It didn't take up like a huge amount of RAM in the background. It doesn't slow down your phone at all. If anything, it just adds a couple bugs here and there, but like I said, we're on the beta. The official version should be coming out by September, so it'll be perfectly fine. The hardware inside, we have the Apple A10 chip. It has 3 gigs of RAM, man. It has a quad-core CPU, and what I can definitely tell you, it handles iOS 13 very good. And considering this is the beta 1, this is the first release of iOS 13, I can only imagine what the ending point when the September event comes around and Apple officially releases it. I think iOS 13 will be a very solid update, okay? And now, setting aside the bugs and everything, the features, this thing got pretty much all of them. I pretty much said in my other videos too. But looking long term, this thing will probably be getting iOS 14 and quite potentially iOS 15 as well. That's kind of up in the air. But here's the thing you kind of have to keep in mind. A lot of the features that we got on iOS 13 were like dark mode, you know, and all those different things that people already kind of wanted. And now people are saying, and I think Craig Federici said that iOS 13 could also bring like a more like refined series, so it's not like all up in your face all the time, at least for the iPads, but that could be ported over for the iPhones. So that makes me think that the iPhone 7 Plus in the future, once iOS 14 comes out, that could be an even bigger redesign than iOS 13, because iOS 13 wasn't a redesign, it just got new features, you know, that was pretty much it. It was kind of a bigger redesign for the iPads, but for the 7 Plus, because it is going to get iOS 14, literally I'm telling you, just wait for the cool features that we are going to receive on these devices. It's going to be so awesome. And now kind of coming back to iOS 13, I definitely do think once the official version comes out, you guys are going to love it. As you can see, the performance wise, it's performing pretty well. I mean, I don't really see too many problems at all. All the problems that I have seen were for my iPhone 10, and I've already discussed them in separate videos, and I didn't really want to talk about them here, but the features, everything we're going to be getting is going to be super solid, and that pretty much covers all the things I wanted to hit on. The price tag for this phone right now, since the initial video I did early on this year, I've seen the prices go down about 10%, which was pretty much across the whole entire board. So the phone, I think I saw them for around like 300 early on this year. Right now they're selling for about like 270ish in that range, at least for the base model. So I'd recommend, dude, if you currently need an iPhone, pick up an iPhone 7 Plus, man. These are still solid, very solid phones. I had one just last year as a main phone. They're very good phones. I really see nothing wrong with them. If you want, you can go all the way up to the 256 gig model as well, but you can even settle for the 128. I think you'll be fine as well. But if you want to pick up an iPhone 7 Plus, I'll leave the first link down in the description. That'll take you straight to Amazon. I'll find the cheapest one there. You can pick it up. Every single sale that goes through those links, a little bit of that revenue comes back to the channel, and we can do more videos like this, some more comparisons, some more giveaways. So it'll mean so much if you guys could check that out and get things through that link, man. But that is pretty much it. If you guys have any other questions or anything, leave it down in the comment section below. Hit that like button, that'll mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. Every single subscriber that we get really does count, so it'll mean so much if you guys could hit that. Also check out the other links down in the description as well. My Twitter, my Instagram, my second channel, all those links are linked down below. I would really appreciate if you guys could check it out. But more importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.